10 years ago, replacing the battery pack in a premium electric vehicle would have cost you close to $30,000. And that's not the price of the car, that was just the battery. It was the single most expensive component. It was the thing that determined whether electric cars could ever be more than expensive toys for wealthy enthusiasts. Today, producing the same amount of energy storage costs around $5,000. That's not a small reduction. It's an 83% drop in cost over a single decade. I am talking about batteries being installed in vehicles driving on roads right now. Tesla Incorporated drove this change. As I dug into how they did it, I realized it wasn't about a single invention or lucky breakthrough. It was something far more deliberate and difficult to replicate. It was an industrial strategy executed on a scale that most people do not fully grasp. Let me walk you through what actually happened. Back in 2008, Tesla was building a sports car called the Roadster. It used thousands of small, cylindrical lithium-ion cells, the same type used in laptop computers. The battery pack for that car cost about $36,000 to produce. For a vehicle that sold for around $100,000, the battery cost more than a third of the total price. Everyone in the industry knew that electric vehicles could not go mainstream with those economics. The batteries had to become cheaper. Much cheaper. According to conventional wisdom, this would happen slowly and gradually as lithium-ion technology matured and manufacturing scaled up across the industry. Tesla looked at that timeline and decided it was unacceptable. They weren't interested in waiting for the industry to slowly improve. They wanted to force the cost down themselves faster than anyone thought possible. The logic was straightforward. Battery costs were high because production volumes were low. Production volumes were low because no one was building enough electric vehicles to justify massive battery factories. It was a vicious cycle. Low volume meant high cost. High cost meant low demand. Low demand meant low volume. Tesla decided to break that cycle by doing something audacious. They would build a battery factory so large that it would, by itself, double the entire world's production capacity for lithium-ion cells. Not increase it by 10 or 20%, double it in one facility. This factory became the Gigafactory, and construction began in the Nevada desert in 2014. The plan was to produce batteries at a scale never attempted before. The goal was explicit: drive the cost per kilowatt hour down by 30% through scale alone. But scale was only part of the story. What Tesla did inside that factory mattered just as much as the size of the building. Most battery manufacturers purchase cells from suppliers. They purchase the cells and assemble them into packs. Tesla decided to do things differently. They manufacture the cells in-house, controlling every step from raw material to finished battery pack. This is vertical integration, and it is much harder than it sounds. You're not just assembling components that someone else made. You are becoming a chemical manufacturer. You run furnaces, coat electrodes, assemble cells in clean rooms, and test quality at every stage. You take on all the complexity and risk. But you gain something invaluable: control. When you control the entire process, you can optimize it in ways that are impossible when depending on outside suppliers. You can change the chemistry. You can adjust the production line. You can iterate faster. Instead of sharing cost savings with vendors, you can capture them all. Tesla partnered with Panasonic to build cell production lines inside the Gigafactory, and the collaboration ran deep. They weren't just buying cells. They co-developed the manufacturing process, refining and improving it month after month. This is where the learning curve starts to matter. There is a well-documented phenomenon in manufacturing. Every time you double your cumulative production volume, your costs drop by a predictable percentage. For lithium-ion batteries, that number is roughly 18 to 20% per doubling. However, this cost reduction does not happen automatically. It happens because you learn. You identify inefficiencies, you eliminate waste, you improve yield, you redesign processes, you negotiate better deals on raw materials, you train workers to work faster and more precisely. You make thousands of small improvements that, while seemingly insignificant individually, collectively transform the economics. Tesla produced so many batteries so quickly that they moved down the learning curve faster than anyone else. They doubled production every couple of years. Each time they doubled production, costs dropped again. But Tesla wasn't just scaling up the same battery technology. They actively changed the chemistry and design to optimize costs. Early Tesla vehicles used a battery chemistry called nickel, cobalt, aluminum, which had good energy density but required expensive cobalt. Cobalt prices are volatile, and the supply chain has ethical and geopolitical issues. Therefore, Tesla began reducing the amount of cobalt in their batteries. They reformulated the chemistry to use more nickel and less cobalt without sacrificing performance too much. This was not simple. Changing the battery's chemistry affects everything. It affects how the cell charges. It affects how the cell degrades over time. It affects how it handles heat and how safe it is. It also affects how safe the battery is. Tesla had to revalidate the entire design. They had to run new tests. They had to ensure that the batteries would last 10 or 15 years in a vehicle. However, the cost savings were significant. Reducing the cobalt content by 50% could cut cell costs by 10 to 15%. Over millions of cells, that adds up quickly. Tesla also changed the physical format of the cells. They transitioned from the 1860-50 cylindrical cells used in early models to larger 2170 cells, and eventually to an even larger 46,800 format. Larger cells mean fewer cells per pack. Fewer cells also mean less labor to assemble. There is less wiring, less complexity, lower cost. Again, this was not easy. Larger cells present challenges in terms of thermal management. They are more difficult to cool evenly. If one part of a large cell overheats, it can cause safety issues. Tesla had to redesign the cooling system. They also had to change the pack architecture. But they did it. Every time they redesigned the cell format, costs dropped further. Now, let me talk about the supply chain, because this is where Tesla made moves that were almost invisible to outsiders, but critically important. Lithium-ion batteries require raw materials: lithium, nickel, cobalt, graphite, and manganese, to name a few. The prices of these materials fluctuate based on global supply and demand. If you are a small manufacturer producing a few thousand battery packs per year, you have no leverage with suppliers. You pay market price. You take what you can get. Tesla had leverage because it produced hundreds of thousands of battery packs per year. They could negotiate long-term supply agreements. They could lock in prices. They could even invest directly in mining operations to secure the supply of lithium. In some cases, Tesla signed deals to buy lithium directly from mining companies, eliminating the need for middlemen. Tesla invested in nickel supply from mines in New Caledonia and other locations. They worked with graphite suppliers to ensure consistent quality and availability. Building this kind of supply chain control takes years. You need relationships, you need capital, you need to be able to produce on a large scale to make it worth the supplier's time. Once you have it, however, you can stabilize your costs in ways competitors cannot. It's not just about price, it's about consistency. When you know exactly which materials you're getting and when they'll arrive, you can optimize your production process around them. You can reduce inventory buffers. You can operate more efficiently. All of that saves money. There is one more aspect of this that I think is often overlooked. Tesla treated reducing battery costs as a top-level strategic priority for the entire company. It was not a side project. It was not a side project. It was something delegated to a research team. The chief executive officer discussed it publicly. The company invested billions of dollars in it. It was incorporated into the product roadmap. Most automakers treat batteries as components they buy, like tires or seats. They care about the cost, but they don't see themselves as responsible for revolutionizing battery manufacturing. That is the supplier's job. They focus on designing vehicles and building brand value. Tesla took the opposite view. They believed controlling battery costs was essential to their survival. If they could produce batteries more cheaply than their competitors, they could sell electric vehicles at a lower price. If they could do that, they would dominate the market. So they invested accordingly. They built factories, they hired engineers, they developed expertise. They made battery manufacturing a core competency rather than an outsourced function. This decision compounded over time. They got better at it every year. The cost gap between Tesla and traditional automakers widened every year. By 2020, Tesla was producing battery packs at a cost that industry analysts estimated was 30 to 40% lower than competitors. This difference represents billions of dollars in margin over the product line's lifetime. This allows Tesla to price its vehicles more aggressively while still making money. Alternatively, they can maintain prices and enjoy higher profit margins. Tesla's advantage is structural. You cannot simply decide to build a Gigafactory and get the same results. You need massive scale, deep expertise, long-term supply chain relationships, vertical integration, and years of learning. Some competitors are trying, GM, Volkswagen, Ford, but they are all playing catch-up, attempting in 5 years what Tesla spent more than a decade building. And this was not just a technical challenge, it was a financial one. Building Gigafactories costs billions, long before profits appear. Tesla made those bets when the outcome was uncertain. They risked everything on the belief that battery costs could be forced down through scale and relentless optimization. It worked. And now that advantage compounds every year. There was no single breakthrough, just a long sequence of deliberate decisions. Build factories, scale production, integrate vertically, optimize chemistry, redesign cells, control supply chains, automate, improve yield, reduce waste. Do that long enough and battery costs fall from $30,000 to $5,000. But what really matters is this: advantages in manufacturing compound. While others build their first factories, Tesla is already on its 4th and 5th. That is how an industrial moat is created, and why it will define the electric vehicle industry for years to come.